Tuskegee City Council regular meeting, June 13, 2017, to order. At this time, we'll ask invocation be given by Deacon Adams, followed by pledge of allegiance. We ask that you stand, please.
We bow our heads, please. Gracious Father, it's again, once more, you and your children gathered here, Heavenly Father. First of all, Heavenly Father, I want to thank you for watching over us, Heavenly Father. Watching us, we're able to rise another day and see no day we've never seen before, Heavenly Father. Father, I ask you to bless this councilors, the mayor, and the whole city, Heavenly Father. Let this meeting be productive and progressive, Heavenly Father. Father, we ask you to come in the midst of this meeting. Let it be what we need it to be, but most of all, let it be what you desire, Heavenly Father. Let everything be decent in order and understanding, Heavenly Father. Father, I ask you to bless each representative here, Heavenly Father, each home representative here, Heavenly Father. Let them find everything the way that they left it, Heavenly Father. Father, we need you in this city. We need you more now than we ever need you here. These in the best name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Deacon Adams. I do want to ask that we all keep Dr. Ed in our prayers as he goes through recovery. Fortunately, he just had a slight setback and is going through recovery. So please keep him in your prayers. Madam Clerk, Kim Clark will ask for a roll call.
Mayor Haygood.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Brown.
Present.
Councilmember Whitehead.
Present.
Councilmember Curry.
Present.
Councilmember McWood.
Present.
Mr. Mayor, all members of the council are present for this meeting.
Thank you. At this time, we'll look to approve the agenda. We review the agenda. If we have any additions, please indicate them so the clerk can add them to the agenda in additional items. If not, otherwise, the chair will entertain a motion for approval. Yes, Councilwoman Whitehead.
Okay, if I want to make a resolution.
Can't hear you. Speak in the mic, please.
You have to be unanimous, though. It's the orders, right? Clerk. If we bring up an ordinance tonight, on a resolution, proclamation. Whatever you have, proclamation.
I'd like to add a proclamation. I would like to add a proclamation on the agenda for Mayor Ford. A former Mayor Ford.
We can't
Proclamation, former Mayor Ford.
Can't hear you, Mrs. Whitehead.
I would like to add a proclamation on the agenda for the former Mayor Ford.
We'll put that on the agenda. Resolution and proclamations under 12. Make that 12D for consideration. That's after the other resolutions, 12D for consideration. 12D. 17, 15. What's in that?
2017, 55.
Yes, 27. Okay, so that would be E for consideration. So you have to adopt it first.
I'm sorry, you got that on the order.
Okay. So that would be considered as 12D for consideration. We have to pass around. Okay. All right. Anything else for consideration on the agenda? If not, the chair will entertain a motion for adoption of the agenda with the addition of one item as 12D.
So moved.
Moved by Councilwoman Whitehead.
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Curry. All in favor, sign of aye. All opposed, nay. Adopted the agenda. We now move to approval of the minutes. We ask that you look over the minutes from May 9th, 2017, followed by the minutes from May 19th, 2017. This time, May 9th, 2017. And as soon as you're ready, the chair will entertain a motion for adoption of the minutes from May 9th, 2017 with the necessary corrections is identified and indicated. Is that a motion? Moved by Councilwoman Whitehead for adoption of the minutes of May 19th, 2017.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Lee. All in favor, sign of aye. Aye. All opposed, is nay. Motion carried. Minutes are adopted for May 9th. Second set of minutes is May 19th, 2017. So moved by Councilman Lee for adoption of the minutes of May 19th, 2017.
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman Perry. All in favor, sign of aye. All opposed, is nay. We have adoption of the minutes of May 19, 2017. Thank you. At this time, we want to welcome the citizens here. We had a very good discussion during our work session, and Ms. Whitehead brought some things to our attention. I appreciate that, Ms. Whitehead. And we had a very good discussion about things that we need to do on our end. So I want to say to the citizens, anytime you have any concerns, we'd like to hear them and recognize them, and we will go to work on them. We're not miracle workers. We'll work on them immediately as best as we can with the resources we have. Unfortunately, our budget is not what we want it to be at this time. We're getting there. They're doing some great work. But as soon as it does get there, we'll take up those items and go to them immediately. So I don't want to say in any way that I discourage anyone from bringing anything to us. If you see something that needs to be addressed, please bring it to us. If you have a concern, a question, criticism, we'll take that. If you have a solution, we'll salute you and try to implement your solution. But in any means and always bring things to our attention so we can address it. In the work session, I was a little frustrated when I said I don't respect the situation where people sit with rainfall on their head, just a phrase or something happening to them, they don't say anything about it, but tell someone else and don't tell the people who do something about it. If you bring it to one of us, we will, as your elected officials, take it to the city manager, the executive side, and we'll do something about it. If there's a concern that needs to be addressed by the clerk or the city manager or the city attorney, we'll ask the city attorney to give an opinion. But otherwise, we'll try to move on as expeditiously as possible. And I know there have been a number of things that we haven't been able to get to, things that have occurred over a number of years, and we're getting to some of them, but that process still takes time, it takes resources, it takes research, and that's why things don't happen the next day necessarily, because sometimes those problems are much deeper than what we see on the surface. So I appreciate your patience. But always, if you have a concern, please bring it to us. And I apologize to anybody that took it that we were impatient with something or disturbed. We're not disturbed. We just want you to give us a minute to know about it, first of all. And then when we know about it, we can try to do something about it the best that we can. So thank you. We'll now hear from any citizens who have a comment, would like to make a comment at this time. Dr. Harrington, can someone
Thank
do
you
a
very
mic?
much, Mr. Mayor. I don't think I need a mic. I will use my human microphone. Do you need a mic for the,
I might need it, yeah.
can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, I would like to give a shout out this evening to Tuskegee Virtual TV. Those of you who can get 181 or whatever it is that we really have a jewel in Tuskegee Virtual TV. They are bringing events. Many of us sometimes cannot get to the event personally. So if you check your Tuskegee Virtual TV timeline, you will probably find the program on there. And I want to give a shout out for them. I didn't get, for an example, to the graduation, high school graduations. I flipped the TV on about 1:30 this morning, and I got the entire program. 1:30 this morning. But I want to give a shout out to Tuskegee Virtual TV, and let's support it, ladies and gentlemen. Every now and then, send $2 or $3 to Tuskegee Virtual TV, so that we can continue to keep the positive face of Tuskegee before our people. Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor and Supervisor.
Thank you, Dr. Harrington, and that's very true. We want to lift up Tuskegee Virtual TV, thank them for the job that they do, very quietly and in the background. They get things done for us and present the information to us. So thank you. If you'll take a stand, and let's give her a round of applause and the staff. Don't even know she's here most of the time.
Yes.
Go right ahead.
Right, I'm Matty Blizzard, but y'all all know who I am. I see y'all have on nice white shirts. I commend that. Maybe you could come out and do the work for me, because you look professional today.
Thank you.
Okay, number one, it's a bad sinkhole. It's coming where the utility board chief said that wasn't his job. He put dirt in it last month, and it all back open even deeper. I haven't, y'all notice, look at my yard. I'm not going back there in the back. So y'all come out. I want one of y'all to come out and see, put something in it to make sure that it wouldn't damage me, because sooner or later, somebody gonna get hurt. The other sinkhole were 7.5 feet under, and also it was sewage. And this is the thing that worried me. And I want someone to, I don't know about Leslie land, but in my back property, where that water is standing, like I asked the city to please put a piping in there. And also, I think it's sewage. I'm going to get someone to go and test it and take it to Auburn and see what it is, because dangerous snakes coming up out of it now. I don't kill 4 snakes in the back. And that's not normal for a neighborhood. But something that the city problem, not my problem. If it was my problem, like I said before, I would fix it. So I'm just asking y'all to please try to do something. I've been pleading with y'all for so many years, even before, with everybody. But now I'm really pleading because somebody gonna get hurt, and I hope it don't be me.
Okay.
So thank y'all.
Thank you, Ms. Blizzard, and bringing our attention. As you say, we've been out there several times. After we came out, the utilities board came out and did a substantial amount of work, and now we have to find out what the final problem is. We will come back out, and we thank the utilities board for doing the part that they did, so we'll come back out and check on it. And we'll let the city manager address it if he wants in the
I will,
meeting.
I'll ask Mr. Holmberg, he'll take a look at it, the same one who looked at the other property.
Okay.
Send the engineer out.
But we're going to send an engineer out, Mr.
Thank
Humber.
you, that's what you need to send.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing it to our attention. Thank you for your patience. We got through the first phase, so we got to come back. As like you say, it was an old problem. It comes from water, comes from 2 or 3 different ways down Patterson and then the sewer underground. So we're attacking the problem and getting to it. We got one part, so we'll come back to try to address the other parts. Thank you for your patience. Thank you, Mr. Manager. Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon. Number one, I'm still concerned about Barrow Street, 2602 Barrow Street.
Yes, ma'am.
And it is really, really, really bad now. We have to drive on the side of the road instead of going down there. Second thing, I would like to know, Mr. Lee, when is your next meeting?
We don't have a date for it yet, but it will be announced. When we have it.
Thank you.
And excuse me, the clerk was asking for your name for the record.
Beg your pardon?
Your name?
Clerk was asking for
Oh, my name is Burnett Jones.
And Ms. Jones, thank you. After I came to the
You-
meeting,
you've
I
been
actually
down
went
there.
down Barrett Street.
Yeah, you
I
did.
came to find out that the young man, excellent guy who's down at Dollar General, lives down there, he and the young lady. So I went all the way to the end of the street and I left a note down there. So I did come take a look at it. It's in bad shape, and it is on this side of Old or West Montgomery Road, where most people don't realize that's Barrett Street also. So thank you for bringing it to our attention.
And then I had a water run when it rains real hard. I live in a mobile home, and when it rains real hard, the water comes down where my skirt is on my mobile home.
Right.
And I have talked to Mr. Hopper, and he did what he said he was gonna do. Mr. Thomas Thompson, he came out and he put something down, but he said that they didn't have any more resources to do it right now. But when he does, they'll do something else to keep that water from coming down.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for bringing that attention. Mr. Mr. Adams?
My name is Melvin Adams. I live at 1901 Ridge Street. I got 4 concerns. Number 1, Chief Patrick on 4th Street and Wheat Street. Top of 4th Street, we got drug activities going there. This past weekend, I'm looking for something to seriously happen over those 2 streets because the house up on the hill is selling drugs, and the house down there next to the ramp is selling drugs. This past weekend, it was kind of nasty over there, so it needs to be something done about that. It really do. Second question, Mr. Harper. On this past Sunday, we had all servants stay there, and we had some people to come out of town, and the street that comes up beside the church, a couple of people came up beside that church and hit a couple of holes in there, and it was very unhappy about that. And I told them that we was in the process of trying to correct that street. But as most of you all know, that street is in bad shape. It's really in bad shape.
Where's that street again?
Wheeler Street, right down there beside Emmanuel Baptist Church. On the side of the church. Emmanuel Baptist Church. And they have put certain spots paved in the hole, but like I said before, it'll come out better if you just scrape the whole street. If you just scrape it up until you can pave it. Because
Mr. Adams, that's one of the things I want to ask the city manager to look at, because of the vehicle. I went down the street after you brought to our attention, and it is really bad.
Yeah,
I went down the truck at the time.
yeah, and like I
It's
said,
in a place where if we can't fix that and repave it, we're gonna have a problem. Scrape it down until we can come back to it.
yeah, that's what I'm saying, because like I said,
Otherwise, shut it off. And rather than shutting it off, we could probably smooth it down.
well, I mean, shut it, I just mean scrape it
I
down.
understand.
Yeah, you know, like I said, the people was quite upset Sunday afternoon. Third one is, that beside me, I killed a snake the other day, come from over in that trailer. As you know, if you come up Trans Street, Battle Street, you got to almost pull out into the road to see, because it done growed up over there. It had really grown up over there.
What's the corner?
The corner of Ballard and Terrence Street.
Down there.
Yes.
Thank you.
And fourth one, that drain down the Bible Church.
From the car wash?
Huh?
From the car wash?
Yeah. When it rains, all that water comes and it ends up in the basement, ends up in our church. You know, so please try to do something.
Down the street?
Uh-huh.
The water comes, or the water from the car wash?
The water from the car wash drains down the street, all the way down the street. No, what's the street on the hill there?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and our drains, they are filled up with dirt and grass done grew all over them. Sunday, we went out there and tried to dig it to try to consolidate some of the water, but
Now, you're talking about 2 churches here, right?
no, I'm talking about just one church, Emmanuel.
Is that Emmanuel on the hill?
No, Emmanuel's at the bottom of
I
the.
was talking about the car wash.
No, well, I'm not talking about the car wash. The water when it comes down off the hill,
Some of the street water, that's why I was saying, the car wash goes on down to
it's going down to the church.
All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Adams. We will, do the city manager, he's taking notes so we can try to follow it as soon as we can.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll follow up on all of these with my guys. So anything you come up with, let me know about it, and I'll follow up with my guys.
Okay, thank you very much.
Appreciate the prayer.
Yeah, y'all doing?
All right.
I want permission to approach the bench with some pictures. I want permission to approach the bench with these pictures here on my street that I live on.
That's the name, sir.
Why is that? Street here. I've been complaining to Sheriff Perkins down there and Wayne Mooney. They say they ain't got no money. They say they ain't got no tractor. They say they ain't got no help. Is that true?
What is the name, sir? You look to the mic. You need your name.
1702 Watkins Avenue, Larry Island. They say they don't have no tractor. They say they ain't got no money. They say they ain't got no help. Before I even go with this, is that true?
Your address again?
1702 Watkins Avenue. Oh, look at that. I got to go to work. Yeah, right by Greenwood Baptist Church. I got to leave on the streets every day to try to go to work to pay this big, my sewage, them old taxes and sewage taxes and garbage is almost $80 a month. And I got to drive through that to go to work to pay y'all. And if I didn't want to pay y'all, y'all gonna turn my lights off. I got a disabled wife at home that don't work. And you know, this is what I have to go, it's just to go down that street every day for me to get back and forth to my job and tore up my car. I got one in the shop now. I can bring you the receipts for that. People say they got dirt in there, they got gravel there. I ain't got nothing in them. Them ain't potholes, them craters. So, you know, 1702 Watkins Avenue, Tuskegee Institute, right by Greenwood Baptist Church here in the city limit, right behind the old thing now. But some people say they getting rocks and gravel. I ain't getting no rocks, I ain't getting no gravel. You see that stuff growing in the street, the grass will take over the whole street.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you for bringing it to our attention. We'll have someone address it. Okay, anyone else, citizens' comments? Mr. Scribe, you able to stand?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
The mic, please. And name and address again.
Okay. Excuse me. My name is Willie Stroggins. I live at 2401 ACB Street, Tuskegee Institute, and the ACB is for Abbassee Bulls, but the city showing it ACB Street. I have the same concern about Emmanuel Church. I was down in that area recently. The vegetation growing out on the streets, on most streets here in Tuskegee. Also, the storm brought a lot of sand onto our freshly paved streets, and it's going to damage it eventually. And plus, it's a hazard to pedestrians and motorists. Also, at the Reed Ambulatory Clinic, the whole parking lot is just sand city, and that's danger for our seniors, our injured people, to experience sand, you know, in our community, in our city. Also, there's an SUV problem over on South Main Street. It's parked right there on the corner. It makes it difficult to see traffic backing out beyond that vehicle. And I almost hit someone the other day because the SUV always park on that corner, and it's just like putting a truck there, a big truck over there. And it's right there on the corner of South Main, right by the light. It's right next to the Head Start building. I think it's a Lexus sports utility vehicle. Also,
on that, what's happening is that
excuse me, sir.
I was going to respond to that.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Okay. Because I want to get in 3 minutes in. I want to get this done here. Thank you.
Okay.
Also, apartment signage at the Gautier Street apartment complex. There's a signage there that's turned the wrong way. It has rose bush that's growing up at the intersection, and that needs to be corrected. And also, there's another one on Brown Street that's turning the wrong way. See, when you got a sign has to face the street, not facing the one-way traffic, because it's difficult, you know, to see beyond that. Okay, well, I guess that's gonna be it, guys.
Okay. Thank you. The one I was trying to respond to is
Sure.
the pacing that they're doing, the state is doing, will move some of that parking back on the corner next to Head Start. They're doing the same thing next to the ABC store. They're going to move those slots back 4 slots down on Head Start and 3 slots down on the, well, 4 slots in the ABC store, 3 slots down. So it shouldn't have too much of a problem.
Well, I like
They
to
just have to finish striking the lines. We asked about that last week.
Yes.
We talked to the State Department of Transportation, Al Dye.
Great.
So they're coming down to finish it up.
Okay, so I like to respond to that if I may.
This week, 50 downtown this week. Stop playing.
I'd like to respond to that if I may. I'd like to respond to that if I am permitted to do so.
Sure.
Okay, I know the state smoothed out all the areas going east of Tuskegee, but they didn't do Martin Luther King going west. And a lot of bumpers and holes there's just holes in the road that's developing. Sink area, but it's cracking and it sank. I spoke to the Al Dye about that, you know, and they sent me a promissory note like Governor Bentley did. So I'm gonna hold him to that promissory note. And like the statements that I give you guys, that's a promissory. If you don't want it, you mail it back to me, and I know that I can't rely on you to fulfill the citizens' concerns.
Okay.
And we must take better care of our churches, our parking service at our churches, and the property. Because I hate to go worship Christ, and I got to grab hold of rust the rail, or I'm slipping on sand in the driveway.
Okay.
And that's all. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mr. Wright.
Sure.
Okay, that looks like that concludes our citizens' concerns. We appreciate citizens' communication. We will now go at this point to mayor's communication. I want to thank everyone again for coming this evening. Main things I want to share with you is that we are progressing on some things at this point in the year. As the city manager reminded us, we're not at 7 months, we're almost 8 months into the year. We took time in our work session today to review our budget to see where we were, to get a better idea of where we are as a city. We are stable, we're paying our bills, we're taking down that amount of bills that we came into office with. So I want to thank our finance department, Ms. Williams, and those working with her and the city manager for walking us through that. But what that does is puts us in a stronger financial position, which is what we're trying to get to. Because when we get a strong financial position, then we're in a much better shape to address some of the projects that we need to, and also some of the concerns that you mentioned. These things that the gentleman said who brought us the issue about the street that he lives on in Greenwood. Greenwood, I hate to say, is a major challenge. I can't use the term I want to use. I wouldn't say nightmare. It's not fair to say, but there's some parts of Greenwood that have been neglected for years and years and years. I have to drive down there to look at someone's house at their request as a citizen. And Greenwood has been abandoned. Most of those properties over there that came up in the late 50s and 60s and all that, where people live, no longer live there. So the lots are just going all out because there's no one there. So that's a whole pocket. It's going to take us some time. We're starting to work on that, but we have to, number one, have equipment, and the city manager reminded us we have some personnel to fill in those positions. And then as we do our regular work, then we can also take that on. But that's a major, major challenge. So there are limbs and trees growing out on Greenwood. Now let me say this. Those properties where they're growing out from are private property. That's not the city's responsibility. It's our responsibility when it gets beyond what's reasonable to come and cut it back. But it's so overwhelming over there, you almost want to section off parts of Greenwood and say, don't go down there. And that's been done before. If you remember, that's what happened on Boy Scout Circle. When those holes got so bad, they blocked off Boy Scout Circle. There's some places in Greenwood where nobody's been for years, and they're really not city streets anymore. They're just abandoned areas. That's what you call them. So we will have to address that, and we look forward to doing that. But we appreciate you bringing it to our attention, and we're having a chance to address some of those things and take care of it. I'm very encouraged by some of the things going on in the city as far as when we come with our budget and in response to some things. We have some new people coming to the community. We have a few new smaller businesses that are opening up, which is always encouraging because you see people spending more money, giving us an opportunity to address the needs of our citizens, and working with us as a city. And so you will see more opening up at this time. We will have a major announcement coming soon, but I'll wait till the business is ready to let us know. But some of the things that occurred recently are being turned around, and we're very pleased to share that with you. Other thing that I will say in my report, I'm being very general because the city manager is going to be more detailed. We're making progress, and I'm glad to see that the Economic Development Office is here from the Economic Development Authority, Mr. Joe Turnham, and those who work with him, Mr. Roland Vaughn. The T100 project is moving along. Everyone is doing what they do in their respective areas. He has some things that he does. We have some things that come to us in the city manager's office and mayor's office, and we just do what we have to do. It's not something we're going to do out front. People ask why we don't, because business goes on where it needs to go, and you go take care of business and you go to the next step. That's how we try to do it. But I got to assure you, there's a lot of activity going on in that project. People ask, what can you do? The biggest thing that I think you can do, and Joe, Mr. Turnham may add to that, is contact anyone you know in the Air Force of any rank, Congress people in our state, in any other state, and encourage them to support and look at very closely at the T100 project in Tuskegee, Alabama, with Leonardo building the aircraft industry here. That just lets them know to open up their eyes and take a second look at the project that we're proposing here. We are in a competition that has not been decided. We had a couple of pretty, what we normally call responsible citizens say some irresponsible things and said that it had been awarded. And I had somebody else from an official capacity asking me about that. And I had to tell them that has not been awarded. To my understanding, the bid will not be awarded until sometime, perhaps late in the year. Is that right? So they had said one time maybe as early as September, but more likely toward the end of the year, so it's not been awarded. We are in a competition. We will have visitors to continue to come to our community. So I ask that you join us on the city council in terms of making our city as pleasant as possible, where we have visitors coming in and being ambassadors as we welcome people here, because we'll have people come and look at our community as they consider this project and what the opportunities are. I can assure you that people in other cities around us, in Auburn, in Montgomery, where I met with the city council people and mayors and other officials, are very supportive of this project. People at the state level are very supportive of this project. People in Washington are very supportive of the project. So we'll continue to work on that, and we're encouraged by it. Can we guarantee that it's coming here? No, we can't. But we're going to give it our best shot. I think we're in a very good position right now. So let's just keep a positive spin on that and do all we can to support that project and keep our community uplifted in a positive way. Moulton Field has given us a favorable look at that project, and we continue to work on that. As was mentioned in the work session, we're about to complete the CDBG project over on Crenshaw Circle and McNair Street. Also adding, I think you said it was Cox Street, which will be paved as an additional street to be paved on, and we're taking down houses in that area. The question comes up, why not in other areas where we promised to take down houses? As soon as we get to this budget narrow period, then we will start to put money toward taking houses down. We'll also be reviewing the process of taking houses down and abating those properties, because I talked with the attorney recently, and while we abate properties, the final step we have to do is go through and put a lien on them after we put work on them. It takes a good bit of money that it'll take to take some of these properties down and clean them up. And we look forward to doing some that we hope coming forward in the fall when we get our new budget. But we haven't forgotten the reason we're taking houses down in the other part of the city, because that was a particular budget funded by the state special grant that allowed us to go in and take down 18 houses, and in the end it'll be 20 or 22 houses in certain areas that had been abandoned and pre-approved for demolition and removal. So that project's about to be finished. We have some other activity going on throughout the city. We're fortunate and happy to see that quality of life is moving along with its center, which will be a $3 million facility right across the police station on 81. That will add some additional health care offerings for this community. They have a particular population that they serve, Macon County Health Care Authority. Over the Reed Center serves the population. So we're working with both entities to strengthen our offerings for health care in this community. So we're very pleased to see that things are moving along and coming up in a positive way. Highway 81 project with AlDOT is expected to complete that project soon. And they have to finish the striping. We had a number of complaints. Matter of fact, city manager and I had a citizen who just came in on us late last week to complain. Matter of fact, one of my classmates to complain about the striping not being done, how it's causing real confusion downtown. They have assured us that they're going to get that striping straightened out, and the lights will be synchronized so that you won't be stopped from CVS until you get past the square, past the ABC store. So we remind them that we don't understand it. They're the engineers, street engineers. We don't particularly like it. We should express it to them, but we do want it resolved. And they've pledged to get it resolved. So they were here just over a week ago and talked with us about resolving that. They also looked at the problem that we mentioned several years ago about returning to Old Coley's Corner and West Montgomery Road in front of Burger King. When buses come there, they cannot turn. Large trucks cannot turn. You know, we get a lot of tourist buses that come here. So they're going to try to help us resolve that difficult turn right there in front of Burger King as you're turning and going toward the campus. So they are here working with us as well, so we're very pleased. But there are things going on that day to day that we're doing We don't have a lot of explosive news to share with you this evening, but just to let you know that we're staying on top of the business in front of us, and things will continue to improve. We'll do our part. If you let us know, we'll try to do our part. So we just ask you to do your part by informing us. And I really appreciate the encouragement we get from the citizens. There's some challenges we have to deal with. We know it, and you know it, and we're going to do the best we can. But we're also thankful when you take time to let us know that you appreciate what the workers are doing and the fact that on things that are followed up on. We have a lot of challenges left because, as I said, in places like Greenwood and some other areas, it's a lot of work to be done in the city. But I assure you, this council is working together to try to get it done, and we'll continue to do that. So,
We're talking about the quality of life.
yes.
Some citizens been concerned about ambulance service. Where is our ambulance service at? We have it?
We have ambulance service with Care Ambulance. I've heard a couple of concerns about that, so I will talk with the city manager about it, and we'll review what the situation is with Care in terms of availability here, and also the arrangement we have with Haynes. Because Haynes can bring their helicopter in if Care is not here. We have told them to bring the helicopter in and we pay the difference to Haynes.
We don't have an ambulance station.
We do have an ambulance station here. The problem is we have a number of calls that happen, and when they go out, then one ambulance is not here, and they have to bring another ambulance in. So we're going to have to review that. And that's going to take the council looking at what our contract and arrangement is with Care, because that was a concern that I had as well. So we'll ask the city manager to remind us to review this.
Yeah, ask if we move to Mr. Turner at this point. He has a need to leave.
Okay.
He has a family situation that he needs to address. So would it be possible we could have him go on now and do the T100 update, show the film, and then get back?
Sure. I'm basically finished. I just wanted to update you on some things and just say that we're doing the work we need to do in the background. If you have anything you need us to do, let us know. But I'm very pleased with some positive things going on in this community. So now we're going to the Economic Development Authority, Mr. Turner. Thank you. Mr. Joe Turner from the Economic Development Authority. You want to introduce anyone else?
Ms. Hopkins is assisting me tonight, and I appreciate her volunteering to do that. I want to thank you, Mr. Mayor, and the council especially. I thank the city manager, Mr. Harper, for providing this opportunity for the MCEDA to update you. Mr. Harper is a member of our board and is very active in everything that we're doing. To kind of set up for the council and the public, what we have is we've got two videos that will last about 2.5 minutes apiece. The first video is the M346, or now T100, which is the Leonardo product. Just so everyone knows, the T100 is one of three products that are being bid to the United States Air Force. Boeing has a product with Saab in Scandinavia, and Lockheed Martin has a project with South Korea, using a South Korean trainer. The trainer you're about to see is the most widely used trainer for the F-35 fighter. It is currently being deployed in Israel with their Air Force, in Italy, in Poland, in Denmark, United Arab Emirates, and Singapore. So there are currently F-35 pilots that are flying this aircraft that have trained on the M346 or the T100. The prices were submitted March 30th by the vendors. There's another round of submittals in June, which will be all the performance video and the other technical data. And sometime between the end of September and the 1st of 2018, the award will be made. But I can assure you, the authority, the council, the community has been very unified in this. We appreciate a lot of our state support that we've gotten from all levels, including SCAD, the governor's office, the Alabama legislature. So we're going to go in. We've got about 8 or 10 slides and 2 videos, and we'll plow through those. And then Karen left some information in the back for those of you that would like to take a leave behind. We've also got some homework for you to do, some, when you leave here, because this is grassroots community activists. We all have to work. This isn't something you assign to me or to the mayor to do or to the city manager. We all have to be involved in this. So let's fly. So that's the finished product. That's the T100. That's what the pilots for the United States Air Force would train in. And that's the finished product that would deliver right here from Moton Field in Tuskegee, where we to be successful winning the project. So we're going to go a little bit into some of the slides. And I've given you a little bit of a background about the T100, the political process that's going on. Really, this project is about low-cost, low-risk solution, and meeting the basic needs of the Air Force is going to be driven a lot by the cost and by the reliability of the technology. If some of you may not know, but the T100 is the only one of the three products that will be fully manufactured in a new facility. The other two competitors will utilize existing facilities in South Carolina and in Missouri in order to build the project. We have a net creation of jobs of about 750 direct jobs and about 3,000 to 4,000 indirect. To give you an example, Leonardo started with 143 cities, and through, I think, providence and a lot of hard work and preparation, we were successful out of the 143 for a number of reasons that we can go into at another time. This is a defense company. Leonardo, I think, is about the 6th largest defense contractor in the world. We had our announcement on March 30th. All eyes were on Tuskegee. Leonardo DRS has generated a lot of free and earned media for our community in a very favorable way and has lifted up, I think, the spirit of the Tuskegee Airmen in a very positive way. There's some of our council members that you may recognize and our mayor at the announcement. They're all looking sharp there, and we appreciate them being there. The announcement was heard around the world. It was reported in international media. The original contract is for around 350 aircraft, which could go to 800 to 1,000 aircraft. So over 20, 30 years, this is a multi-billion-dollar project with many, many suppliers, and we are a very strong competitor right here in Tuskegee. We had great support from Governor Robert Bentley. He was there at the announcement, and then about a week or two later, he resigned. We have had to really circle back, but I can say our Governor Kay Ivey met with our leadership. You'll see the mayor there. Our Senate Pro Tem President Del Marsh, who is essentially the Lieutenant Governor at this particular point, comes out of an aerospace background. He's fully supportive, and they've written letters. And our Senator, Billy Beasley, is shown in his office there with the Alabama Department of Commerce, and he has been extremely helpful, as has our State Representative Pebblin Warren. We got something that probably doesn't happen a lot. The Alabama House of Representatives went into session back in May and suspended the rules and allowed the company and our city and county officials to come onto the floor and actually address the legislature. So this is not now just a Tuskegee or Macon County project. This is fully supported by the state of Alabama. I've already told you that the T100 product, known as the M346, is already in operation in places like Israel, and Leonardo has already beaten the competitors in several competitive bids. We're looking at probably some kind of a CapEx investment to begin in about the $300 million range at Moton Field, 750 direct jobs and 3,000 to 4,000 indirect jobs. This is a conceptual rendering of the plant as proposed by some of our team partners. And as you can see, we've taken great care to adhere to the detail of the Tuskegee Airmen Historic Site with the barrel roll roofs. You see the brick, you see a lot of the synergy that's there. You see the recreation of the air traffic control tower, which would be the entry into the plant. And that would be right there into the runway at Moton Field. There's our city manager with Doug Marshall and our probate judge. I believe that chief is white head there in the yellow dress, and I see our mayor over there. We have some homework for you to do. You know, these things are based on a competitive principle, but certainly government responds to advocacy and grassroots. So we would ask citizens to write their members of Congress, especially their U.S. senators, to make phone calls, send email blasts to your listserv and tell them how excited you are. Post your positive comments on Facebook. We have, Karen can tell you how to follow us, and there's some of the hashtags at the bottom that you can use, and to support us with some tweets. We have a website called airmanlegacy.com, which is full of a lot of information. It's public information that you can have. And we ask that everybody in the community get your knowledge network up. You understand and try to be able to give the elevator speech to your friends. The Tuskegee Family Network, both through the university and through the Airmen, with their chapters all across the country, is one of the strongest grassroots advocacy networks around. And I think if we all pitch in, number one, we want to be treated fairly. We want to be treated and we want our history uplifted with all this, because this could affect not only the legacy of the airmen, but the future for another generation of pilots. So help us build on the legacy, and I appreciate the great support of the City of Tuskegee, our city manager, our mayor, and our council, and the entire staff, and each of you. So I think you should give yourself a round of applause for all you have done. And
Thank you, Mr. Attorney.
we got one more video. All right, the last video that we got will show you in real fast time how the aircraft is actually put together. This would be a final assembly, and it's very impressive.
Oh,
It's on the website and on the social network.
okay, that's what I.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Turnham. Thank you for your work and the whole Economic Development Authority. I know you've been working on this for some time. So whatever we can do, let us continue to do it. As Mr. Turnham has said, we have a lot of support throughout the state and even in other states. As I have talked to people, it's really surprising. And I can tell you that not only is Tuskegee University fully involved, from the board chairs to the trustees all the way down, and the acting president of Auburn University is fully involved. They're very supportive of it. So our whole community in this area, regional area, is supportive of this project because they know what it can do for the region, not only for Tuskegee, but for the entire region. Thank you. Okay, at this time, I'd like to recognize, we have some visitors here before I close out my report from Liberty Bank to come forward and just give us a word. There has been some discussion earlier about opportunities in Liberty Bank. We have not been able to take advantage of. So I wanted to introduce Ms. Duncan and Ms. Rose from Liberty Bank.
Good evening.
You might come to the mic.
I will. I'm not quite well. Good evening. Thank you all for allowing us to have this few moments. I'm Helena Duncan. I'm the regional president here with Liberty Bank. We just wanted to come and support the community. We're here. I know that I've heard from some of the citizens where they feel like there's no community bank left here. We're still the same. We just have a different name. And we're here. We're not hearing from you the way we'd like to hear from you. But please come by, see us, let us know what your needs are. What we can do, we will do, and what we can't do, we'll surely make sure you understand why we can't. But we just appreciate having the opportunity to be here. Exciting news, Joe, with the aircraft. Lots of good things happening here in the community, and we want to be a part of that. So please, our doors are open. Angela Rowe is our local manager here, and I'm sure most of you know her, but I'm in Montgomery. I'm just a phone call away. So please involve us. Let us know where we can be of assistance. And again, we're here for you. We lend money every day. I mean, we love to hear from you. Our doors are open. So just make us a part of the community. We'd love to be here.
Thank you for being here, Ms. Duncan and Ms. Rose, for being here this evening. We had understood that there had been some loans made in the community that citizens aren't aware of, and you have to go and present the information as you do at any other institution and get qualified. So there are things happening in our community, and I appreciate them coming as our local community bank, formerly First Tuskegee Bank, that is now Liberty Bank, a major part of our community. I also congratulate you on taking over the bank on, is it Carmichael? Yes. They have a new bank on Carmichael down there. I hate to call another bank's name, but next to the Sterling Bank building down on Carmichael, at the end of Carmichael and Ferry Hill Road. Very nice bank that they took over. The Liberty Bank is now their location there, as well as the location downtown before you get to the Capitol. I've had the opportunity to go by to other locations. I haven't been to the new location. I look forward to going there. So it's good to see them growing and to know that they're available in this community. And thank you all for being here. That concludes my report, Mr. Manager. I'll turn it over to you this time.
All right, thank you much. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
All right, we've had a very good update by Mr. Turnham in that film, and thank you again, Joe. It's been a pleasure working with you on that. We've been doing it this for about a year and a half now, a little bit more. Well, you've been 3 after a year and a half. But anyway, that's coming along, and along with the location out there, and all of you notice some exciting things happening, other things happening here at Exit 38. And we recently received 3 specific grants to help in the development of Exit 38. We received a water grant, water improvement grant, sewer improvement grant, as well as a roadwork improvement grant. 3 specific grants, and we have a team that has come together to sort of oversee the management and the planning for the 3 different activities covered by the grants. And a number of the members of that team are here tonight. So first up is Mr. I knew I was going to forget Tanner Casey with Krebs Engineering. Krebs is already the engineer of record on the water and the sewer project, and we're asking tonight that they be appointed to do the engineering work for the road work also. Tanner's going to bring us up to date on what the initial work is going to be at Exit 38. And he brought some friends with him, some other members of we call it our Friday planning group. Ashton, would you come up too? Ashton Yates, Scad, Evan Cruz, Mr. Vaughn, you join us. You remember that group? All right. We meet in addition to these four. We also, Mr. Long with UBT, myself, and Danny Holmberg and Chris. We've been meeting on this project for about a month and a half now when we first got it. And the determination was to move forward initially on the roadwork improvement. And Roland, you may want to take a shot at just why we did that. And then he can get into his update on where we are now. So a little bit of background as to why we're doing roadwork first.
One of the things, we have 3 grants. The first is sewer, the second was water, and then each of them is run in the roadway. So rather than repeat work or cut pavement, as you often see done, we're trying to do them simultaneously, so each of the 3 grants are installed, and then the curb and gutter first, and then the paving. So we'll do, the permitting is, the state is waiting for the permits on right-of-way, and then we're accessing the first 2 businesses to come in. So their access road will be to the west side of 81. On the east side, where the 24-hour service center will go, we're bringing all the utilities to that point, so that as soon as Jeff is able to get his contract work in, then we'll extend utilities in the roadway into him. So we're using that first $350,000 roadway grant in order to install as much of the first increment of businesses as we can. And then Ashton Estes with SCAD is working on our electrical grant right now, and that also is through Delta region, so that will be the 3rd. And then I think you saw in the paper we have an $90,000 grant request into USDA. So those are what is working right now. We still have the highway department. So a part of what the highway department came out and met with us and discussed their ability to help us in some of the cost of the road in addition to what we do. One of the things that you'll approve tonight is the design approval of Krebs and a resolution of them being the design engineer for the right-of-way. Believe it or not, the highway department would like to have their design and their permitting request in yesterday. So they will begin work immediately, and I think submit next week.
All right.
We like that kind of accelerated progress.
All right, thank you. Tanner, you want to come forward and discuss what you're working on right now?
Yes, sir. My name is Tanner Casey. I'm with Krebs Engineering in Montgomery, Alabama, the project engineer on Exit 38, along with Danny Holmberg, who is my boss. He was unable to be here tonight. But just to bring you up to speed on where we are at tonight. We have approximately 450 linear feet of sanitary sewer that we're going to be installing, along with about 550 feet of water main in this area. And that will, like Mr. Vaughn said, service the first 2 locations. I know you can't see this very well, but it will be left. You're more than welcome to take a look at it after the meeting. It will service this property here, this property, this property, this property, and potentially the 3rd one on the left side of the roadway. Water and sewer, and then, as Mr. Vaughn said, we'll come back over with brand new roadway. Coming from, just to kind of walk you through the project. Coming from the northbound exit ramp on I-85, we will add a southbound, headed toward Tuskegee, southbound right turn lane all the way to the access road, as well as another 400 feet of taper on the further southbound side, so that we don't constrict traffic on 81, make it safe to get in, get out without getting, in an accident. On the southbound side of the access road, northbound side, headed north from Tuskegee, we'll add a left turn lane as well into the access road for these properties so that we don't constrict traffic headed towards 85. We were initially looking to get a bit further back here, but design will not allow that at this time. We've broken it up into 2 phases. But this infrastructure, it's useful to think of as assets rather than prices. You install something like this, you have 2 property owners come and put buildings here and here. All of a sudden, it becomes an attractive building site. The T100 program, fingers crossed, gets granted to this portion over here. That's just that much more appeal to people looking to build right there on 85. It's a prime location. I personally think it has a lot of appeal, especially to people headed between Montgomery and Auburn. There's not really anything. As a student, when I would go back and forth from Montgomery to Auburn, there's nothing. There's nowhere to stop and get gas. There's nowhere to eat. This is a perfect location, and we're going to do everything that we can to give Tuskegee the best infrastructure in order to attract some of those clients and some of those customers. So that's where we're at this point. If you have any questions, Mr. Harper would be happy to answer them himself or direct them to me.
Sure he will. Sure he will.
Or direct them to me.
Yes, he will.
Thank you.
One quick question. On the water main, you say how large is that water main?
10 inches.
10 inches. And do we have approximate time that this is starting? Because that's what everybody's going to ask us. I might as well ask you.
As soon as the road work, I believe we're bidding them together in one package.
Okay.
So as soon as the road work contract gets signed, we will be able to submit a full package to ALDOT for their review.
That's a month or 2 or so, right? Just guessing.
Water and sewer will be easier to get through the DOT because they're strictly bores,
Right.
meaning they're just going to go under the roadway. The roadway itself will have to conform to their standards. Just like any owner, they're picky about how things look. I do think we have a little bit of a leg up because we have people working on this project that have been with the DOT, but it's just a matter of pushing them along, getting them to meet us halfway, and to approve the design that we've come up with.
Mr. Mayor, I would point out that Tanner used to work for the highway department.
I was trying to keep it going.
So we don't want to mention that. But we have tried in every way. The person that wrote the traffic book for the Department of Transportation and teaches the classes is Daryl Skipper, who did our traffic and transportation study. So we've tried to do things with the people. Now, Johnny Johnson, who is head of permitting, we had out about 3 weeks ago to walk through the need. He met with Mr. Harper, with the UVT, and with Krebs, and we talked through the project. So we want to call in those favors of goodwill that we have with permitting, and they've been very helpful, as they were with Joe on Lowe's. They worked very closely with Lowe's. So we hope we're doing all the right things with the goodwill that we try to do.
me see if anyone else on the team first, Dr. Harris. Anyone else on the team?
Either one of you have anything on that? Feel free to.
I do not, unless you have specific questions for me as far as a grant management standpoint. I'm happy to answer any questions.
I got one question. When
Yes,
you
sir.
get us some more grant money? And I want to thank the two of you, by the way, Evan and Ashton, both of you have been very, very good to work with. You followed through, you protected the city's interests, left and right. You kept me in the loop, and I really appreciate your efforts and all that you're doing for our community. Thank you.
We're happy to help.
Thank you so much. Now, Dr. Harrington, briefly.
Thank you. I'd just like to know when the work actually begins, the workforce. May I expect to see a diverse working crew out there? That's what I want. Can I get my uncle to come and apply for a job? Or is that my uncle that I have?
Let me address the job creation, and
Yes.
Ashton is probably the better one to do it, but of the people that we now have working with UET to establish leases on property, the first is Burger King, and they would be a job creation of between 35 and 65 jobs. Now, they did a presentation for UET and the Cooperative District about a week ago, and their head of their Huntsville office came down. They talked about that they try to be a path to better jobs. So they very much encourage continued education, promotion of people within, and the utilization of a workforce that's here locally. So they very much addressed those issues. I think Mr. Mayor was there. We all felt pretty reassured by their job creation strategies. The second would be the 24-hour service center. And Joe has spent a good bit of his last week and this week with Mr. Potter, trying to get his work to the council. We understand that the lack of paperwork and the lack of the actual purchase agreement and lease is something that causes all of us anticipation and anxiety. So Joe has been working on that, and I think that will be forthcoming. Of course, that's not the first time I've said those words. So, but let me talk. So that his 40 jobs of job creation. It's the 24-hour, the 24-hour center. So you think 3 shifts a day. And the hotel, we are in 3 weeks. We have the Best Western owner coming in. His name is Kenneth Moore. He owns the Clarion Conference Center in Lexington, Kentucky, and one other conference center. So, Joe, if you want to, and that's probably about 25 jobs. So that's on the job side. So, but the question originally had to do with schedule. And the driver on this right now ends up on the west side. That would be the Burger King hotel, is that right-of-way improvement, and that's Aldott. So that's why next week is the submission. They cannot take bids on the property until we actually get that permit. And so that's why we're trying to call in all our favors to, they've already given us initial approval on the traffic study, and this is then the final design on the traffic study.
Okay, thank you all. Appreciate it. Anybody in the audience have a question? Additional questions? Sounds like everything's covered. Thank you, gang. Appreciate it.
I just want to take a minute to thank each of you for being here this evening. Thank Mr. Turnham, Ms. Duncan, and Ms. Rowe. Y'all are welcome to stay. We invite y'all to stay. We understand you're coming distance, so if you need to leave, as they say in the classroom, if you do so quietly, we won't hold it against you. Thank you for being here. Back to Mr. Harper.
All right, the next item on the agenda is the leave donation policy. I think 2 council meetings ago, you were given the policy draft. And since then, I think Mr. Whitehead wanted some additional time to think about it. We've given you a copy here. You have the update with the forms that would be used, the form to opt in, to opt out. Excellent suggestion by the attorney. We will be having a session on July 10th, assuming you approve it. July 10th with all employees as part of another training session that we'll be having to explain the leave policy, how it works, how you can get in, how to request time, etc. So the question tonight, are we ready to vote on the policy? If so, we would like for you to vote on it. If you approve, there is an ordinance copy attached as resolution, 2017-54.
Want to pick it up now?
That works for me.
Okay, council, if you've had a chance to look over it and are ready to move on that, we will look at resolution number 2017-54, and Chair will entertain a motion for adoption unless you have some discussion.
I have a question.
Question, Councilman Whitehead.
We still don't have a full-time human resource person.
We do not have a full-time.
I see you say all funds
That's correct.
should be returned to human resource, so we have to have a part-time person.
Come again?
We just still have a part-time,
We don't have a part-time HR person. We have an HR consultant that works with us. She makes on-site work here, and she also works with us, communicates with us. She is the one who actually put together this policy we're looking at.
So let me ask you one more question. Do we ever intend to have a full-time?
Yes.
But the funds are taken out of the budget, right?
Come again?
The funds are taken out of the budget for full-time.
There's no budget funds this fiscal year for a full-time HR person.
Okay, are there any other questions? And if you're comfortable with the policy, we can vote on it tonight, as long as you vote in favor. If you have some hesitation for our next meeting, you can bring it back up. So you have to vote in favor. You bring an item up that's approved for the next meeting, you bring it back, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right, Mr. Attorney? An item voted upon and approved. In order to bring it back for reconsideration, you would have had to vote in favor of that item.
Yes, if you want to take it off the table.
If you want to take it off the table.
If you're the one who wants to make the motion, then you have to have voted in the affirmative about the table.
Right. So, otherwise, we'd like to go ahead and adopt it unless there's some other questions that we have, reservations. Councilman Lee?
Yes, no, it's pretty cut and dry, so I mean, really the difference is just this form.
Okay.
That's all right.
Councilwoman Whitehead, Councilwoman Barrett. If not, Mr. Chair will entertain a motion for adoption of the resolution 2017-54 policy. Moved by Councilman Lee.
Second.
Second by Mayor Pro Tem Brown. All in favor? Is there unreadness? There's an unreadness. There's not. Madam Clerk, we good?
Yes.
Okay. Unreadness clear. All in favor, sign of aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carried. Thank you. Please record it as unanimous decision. Any other consideration of facts? All right. Thank you.
Thank you much. Next item, Mr. Mayor, is the pumper truck that you talked about earlier. I think most of us are aware that we had an accident last May 2016, actually, that severely damaged one of the pumper fire trucks that we have. An old model, 1985 Pierce. We did not immediately replace that because we were in for a grant, which we ultimately did receive a FEMA grant for a pumper truck. However, due to some production, some snafus and problems, we were not able to get a truck within that particular period of time. What we have available to us, because we are required to have a couple of pumper trucks, we can declare a necessity for an emergency purchase according to the Code of Alabama that's quoted in the resolution there. If you declare a emergency purchase due, then we can go ahead, we don't have to bid it or anything, we can go ahead and commit for a truck that will be delivered in time to us. And it is a truck from Rosenbauer, America. The cost is $333,518. And it can be and will be delivered on or before November 1st. And the chief tells me we really need to get that because we are in trouble by only having one pumper operating at this time. So I would ask that the council approve the resolution that will allow us to go ahead and purchase a Rosenbauer truck.
So you said that wasn't something that we did. How was it?
We did bid it.
Okay.
The bids came in, the bids were nowhere near what grant covered.
Okay.
So as a result, we were not able to accept that. Then Fred went out and found, actually consulted with found a Rosenbauer. That is one of the top 5 trucks in France now. Found a truck that would be available, custom truck. It's a custom truck. Chiefs, whims, and tastes, and bells and whistles, they're all in there. They would be available, and this is slightly more than the grant amount, but we can swing it. It's not that much more.
Okay, thank you, Councilman Lee. Mayor Pro Tem Brown, any concerns, questions?
No, sir.
Councilwoman Whitehead?
This is the truck that we found that we got here. We have one truck. We got one in the body truck.
Yeah, we have to bring it, we're gonna make a difference. Bring a couple more stuff.
99%.
Councilwoman Kerr is okay? Chair will entertain a motion for, it's a resolution, right?
2017-53.
Chair will entertain a motion for adoption of resolution 2017-53 regarding the emergency purchase of a fire truck. Moved by Councilwoman Whitehead. Second by Mayor Pro Tem Brown. All in favor, sign of aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carries. Thank you.
All right, the final resolution I have here, authorizing Krebs Engineering to construct, to do the engineering road work that we just talked about with the illustration over here that Tanner covered. So we'd like to go ahead and make it official, appointing Krebs as to do the engineering work for the road work improvements at Exit 38.
I just had one question. I sent an email asking about the proposed fee. Was that something we got earlier? The designated proposed fee in section 1. Krebs Engineering. Under section 1 of the resolution. Okay. It says that it has been determined to be in the best interest of the city and that the proposed fee has been accepted and agreed to by the project.
Yes, that determination was made by
Scanson?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
all right. We didn't do it, they did.
Nope.
Okay, all right, good. I just wanted to.
We pay them a fee to manage that.
I just wanted to make sure, I didn't know, I had to see them. Thank you. Okay, we have resolution 2017-56, a resolution for engineering services for Delta Regional Authority roadwork portion of the project relating to exit 38. Chair will entertain a motion if you're ready.
So moved.
Moved by Councilwoman Whitehead.
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Curry. All in favor, sign of aye. All opposed, nay. Motion is carried. Thank you.
Okay, thank you much. The next item is the street maintenance report, and you all have had it for some time now to go through the grass cutting, the patching, and all the other things that the street sanitation folks do. Are there any questions on the street report?
I have a question, not on that part of it, but our chairman actually stated to me that he would be willing to help us in cutting our grass. And he said we just have to give it to him in writing if we want him to help. So, and I know we need some cutting right now for the fishing derby. But we don't want the kids out there fishing and snakes. So
Well,
if
as you
he
mentioned,
said
we have a memo of understanding with the county. They help us frequently. They do the lake, most of the lake cuts, and they do cuts that Mr. Thomas over there requests from J.B. Smith. So we have an agreement already in place, and we use them quite frequently.
So we have
Why
the
don't
grass
you
cut.
talk, Lane, if you would you talk a little bit about what you did for fishing derby or what you're doing for it?
Not cut yet.
Fishing derby? Yes, sir. On Saturday, we went out, we cut 7 hours on the lake. We had one bush hog, 15-foot bush hog. We had one side cutter, and they didn't cut Sunday. They cut on yesterday, which was Monday. But the fishing derby where Mr. Brownlee asked me to get cut, we also went over with the lawnmower, so that it won't be so bad for the kids to fish. So the fishing derby is in pretty good shape for the kids to fish. And we also had the side cut, we cut that first.
Well, Ms. Whitehead said she wrote by today.
I went around there today, there's a lot of cutting needs to be done right there at the boathouse area, right in the curve around there by dialysis. It's still a lot of cutting.
Okay, the side cut is around there now.
Okay.
And the derby will be fished on the little lake. And they're gonna take a portion of the big lake from the pipe back to dialysis. He told me that's all he wanted us to cut real neat for the kids at this time.
So they cutting some more now. They finishing it up, right?
Well, the county machine is really leaking a lot of hydraulics. And I asked them if they put an O-ring in it so they can keep from putting all the debris into the lake. And they're coming out tomorrow to put another O-ring in and start that cutting. They got stuck over there by Mr. Perry. Had to go get him out because it's so soft. The reason I cut the far side of the lake first because we don't have too much grass and water to stand at all times. And so now they're cutting on the side. If it do rain, they still cut the side over by your way. Because the side cutter never have to get off the road.
Okay, thank you, but Mr. Lambo, I'd like to make a statement. I hope eventually we can get to the point where we can keep the lake maintained so it won't get so tall like us.
Well, we would have to purchase a bush hog to do that.
Yeah, we need to do it.
And a side cutter.
On the dam side of the lake, was that the county side cutter was cutting up yesterday?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I saw it over there.
Yes, sir. We don't want a side cutter.
I didn't think so. That was pretty big.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Any more street maintenance issues, comments, questions? Going once.
Okay. It's the same comment. Just trying to figure out the regular schedule of our patching. I know we get the reports in the street.
Keep promising we'll give you that.
Okay. Because again, that's probably the number one thing that I've been hearing.
Just a minute, I'm gonna get you a copy.
Okay.
Mr. Thomas?
Yes, sir.
Can you get me a copy of that street, your street schedule, by week, the streets that you do by week?
Okay.
Okay, you know what I'm talking about?
So what was happening?
You gave me a little while back, you gave me a schedule. You showed by the week of the month, which streets are patched, which streets are
Yes, sir.
done. Can you get me that?
Yes,
Copy of
sir.
that?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll get it over.
I would like to have a copy.
All right, now why don't I give all of them?
Thank you.
Just say everybody.
Thank you.
All right. Being no more questions, we'll go to the financial report. Mr. Williams? How deep do you want to get in this since we did this budget review?
Mayor, we can just get a brief overview since we went into detail at the work session.
Okay. Good evening to everybody, citizens included. Just to let you know where we are with the payables at this particular time, what was posted in the system was $277,274.76. And as you know, as we print payables, they go down and others come in. But we're keeping up to date. And the revenue for the month was $536,887. That's the total revenue for this particular month. Where we are year to date, $6,204, $204,159. Last year we was at $6,585,358. Of course, revenue is less at this point by $381,000. Expenditures for the month was $727,813. Year to date, $6,212,159. Last year we was at $5,960,322. This year, our expenditures to, revenues to expenditures for the month is a difference of $188,926. Revenues was less than expenditures by this amount for this year. However, we are not in the red. We are able to pay bills, keep the flow going. So we're not, because we were able to budget really good this year, for this time of the year, we're still able to pay bills.
Any other questions, comments? Thank you so much, and the city manager, thank you, Ms. Williams. Citizens, we had a detailed report earlier, and that we are pretty much on track and within budget, thanks to the finance department and paying our bills through a lean period. So we hope as we go forward into the fall, we'll have more revenue at some point when it starts back, and then start doing projects. But at this time, we're just stabilizing things and continuing on and taking care of our ongoing normal operations. Thanks a lot. See you. Chair will entertain a motion to receive the financial report.
So moved.
Moved by Mayor Pro Tem Brown.
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman Curry. All in favor, sign of aye. Aye. All opposed is nay. Motion carried. Report received.
Thank you much. We're now at the Head Start report. I'm going to ask Dr. Nanette Phillips to come up and give us a summary. And I think you indicated you needed 4 items, specific approval on the last 4 items of the list there.
Yes, sir.
So, okay.
Mayor, council members, city manager, city clerk, attorney, and citizens, good evening. Good evening. As City Manager Harper just mentioned, we do need the last 4 items addressed. The first 5 items, pardon me, are your regular items, and if you have any questions or concern regarding them, I'll be happy to address them. But if we move to item number 6, which is the school readiness goals and plan, this is a required document that we have to submit with our refunding application to show how we are going to implement school readiness for our children. And the goals are broad statements that really represent the knowledge and skills for preschool children to prepare them to enter kindergarten. So you have that information. We made a few minor edits that are highlighted in yellow throughout the document, but I'd like to bring your attention to page 25. We had to add mentor coach. One of the requirements of the new Head Start performance standards is to include mentor coaching into your educational department. And we've established a mentor coach who will be with us August of this school term starting. Luckily, we were able to identify a staff person in-house who was qualified, a teaching staff person who was qualified to be selected by the personnel committee for that position. And the mentor coach will be responsible for observing and assessing the classroom activities of the program and providing on-the-job guidance for the teaching staff. And the objective is to raise quality teaching in the classroom and to help with the professional development. Item number 7 is the 2017-2018 school calendar. Each year we get a copy of the school calendar for the Macon County school system to try our very best to match the operational days, because we find that we have children who are enrolled in Head Start have siblings in the school system. So we try our very best to match the in and out days. So out of the entire school year, there are only about 3 days that Head Start will be in and the school system will be out because of the time frame that they selected for their professional development. But otherwise, the rest of the school days, Head Start and the school system will be in and out at the same time. And we will be starting this year the same time as the school system, which is on August 10th. Item number 8, the FY18 budget justification and refunding to include slot conversion. Last year, we submitted a request for slot conversion to Head Start Regional Office, and Regional Office had a turnover of staff, and somehow our conversion slipped through the cracks. So after several communications from me, we've been asked to resubmit it this year, And you will see there are 3 columns there indicating our Head Start budget. And we are looking to have a combination of services. Early Head Start, which serves infants and toddlers, ages 0 to early 3. And that's, I think, 6 weeks when I say 0. And we're looking to do 12 home-based for early Head Start, infants and toddlers, and 16 center-based for early Head Start. The requirements for early Head Start, when you have infant and toddlers, you can have no more than 8 children in a classroom. So the 16 children will be equivalent to 2 classrooms. And the home base will be reaching those families in the community who are not able to come to the center for whatever reason, so that a staff person will be able to, and they call that position home visitor. Home visitor is equivalent to perhaps a traveling teacher, for lack of better words, just to get a snapshot of what it is, who will be going to the home of those specified enrolled children to give them the services that they need as it relates to developing their infant or their toddler. As you're aware, we've had struggles with enrollment for the past year, and the way Head Start, early Head Start works is there's a 2-to-1 ratio. For every 1 early Head Start slot you would like to serve, you have to cut 2 Head Start slots. So it kind of balances out, because even though we're funded for 269 Head Start, we've only been averaging about 230 Head Start. So with transitioning some of the early 3s and infants, establishing infants, will balance out the number to really serve what we've really been serving. And the challenge with the under-enrollment, although we are state funded for 4 state pre-K classrooms, the school system has also added 2 additional pre-K classrooms. So it gives parents another option in the community. And some parents are selecting the school system just out of convenience. So if I have to drop my 3rd grader off, let me just go ahead and drop my pre-K child off. So it's a bit of a competition, unfortunately, and it's really hurt the enrollment for Head Start. So we're looking at different strategies and techniques to be able to provide the services. Our Head Start budget is approximately $2.3 million, and with the non-federal match is $2.8 million. So we're allowed to use the $2.3 to make necessary adjustments for the early Head Start conversion. The last item, number 9, you have a letter included and information included. You see the letter is dated June 5th. We didn't have much time. Cost of living adjustments have been awarded. The Trump administration awarded Head Start $85 million, and each Head Start organization was sent a letter of award indicating the amount for cost of living that they will receive for their organization. And it's the cost of living for Head Start employees. They must receive a minimum of 1%. Not much, but it's a step in the right direction. And our letter gives the amount, and once the 1% is distributed to each employee, there was a balance of approximately about $5,000 that we wanted to, of course, cover with fringes, and perhaps look at those salaries that were not quite at the wage comparability study and add a few more cents to them, maybe 10 cents, 20 cents, 30 cents, because it's not a lot of money to stretch. But we will have that justified to show, because we have to send that specific spreadsheet in to regional office to show where the COLA and the differential went to. That ends my report. I would like to add a couple of things before you get into your input and approval. We just got the letter for the COLA this month, and the government doesn't give a quick, extended turnaround. So the turnaround time, the COLA is due June 30. So we're going to be submitting it the week before June 30 because we have a conference in Atlanta, the Leadership Summit, this last week in June. So I would like to ask if you all plan on having a special call meeting at any point. We have to accompany the minutes of the meeting with these approvals. So it is with hopes that you all have a special call meeting. That's a request and a hope because we have to accompany showing that you all approved it in minutes. The other thing is I'd like to thank Mr. Harper and Mayor Haygood for attending our staff appreciation end of the year activity. Thank you, Mr. Harper, for giving greetings, and they stayed during the whole time. I appreciate that. And thank you, Mayor, for a wonderful inspiration speech to the staff. Everybody's still talking about it. So thank you all for your support and attending the event. And thank the clerk and Ms. Jolette for attending as well. That is my report.
Okay, the chair will entertain a motion to receive the report from Dr. Phillips, the Head Start report. Moved by Councilwoman Whitehead, seconded by Councilwoman Kirby. All in favor, sign of aye. All opposed, nay. The report is received. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now we to approve items 6, 7, 8 in there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Each one individually?
If you can say them, state each one, as long as they're written out specifically in the minutes. You can group them all in your motion, but as long as they're written specifically in the minutes.
Is that good, Mr. Attorney?
I'll just go ahead and take a motion on each one of them.
Okay.
On the Vice Attorney, we'll take a motion on each one. We'll begin with item 6, which is school readiness plan that was in the package, school readiness and goals and plan, and highlighted the additions. Chair will entertain a motion for the approval of the school readiness goals plan for Head Start for the coming year.
So moved.
Moved by Councilwoman Curry, seconded by Mayor Pro Tem Brown. All in favor, sign of aye. All opposed, nay. Approval given. Motion carried. Next one is approval of the 2017-2018 school calendar for the Head Start program. Chair will entertain a motion. Moved by Councilwoman Whitehead, seconded by Mayor Pro Tem Brown. All in favor, sign of aye. All opposed, nay. Motion carried. Calendar approved. Next one is the FY18 budget justification / refunding to include slot conversion. That's slots where we're converting to early Head Start, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the chair will entertain a motion for the adoption of the slot conversion for the FY18 budget justification.
So moved.
Moved by Mayor Pro Tem Brown. Seconded by Councilwoman Perry. All in favor, sign of aye. All opposed, nay. Motion carried. Justification approved. And finally, cost of living adjustment, 1% differential plus differential COLA increase. I have a question.
Yes, sir.
If we're approving this tonight, is this still the thing that you need to approve before the end of the month?
Yes, sir.
We have to come back to approve something else?
Next month, we're gonna be giving you 2 or 3 more plans that we need to include. We didn't want to inundate you with so much tonight.
But I was saying in terms of this COLA.
Oh, yes, sir, we need that tonight.
If we approve this tonight, we still have something to come back for a special meeting.
The minutes of the meeting. One of the requirements is to attach the minutes.
Okay. All right, well, let's get this done. Chair will entertain a motion for the cost of living adjustment, COLA 1% plus differential COLA increase.
So moved.
Moved by Councilwoman Brown, seconded by Councilwoman Curry. All in favor, sign of aye. All opposed, nay. Motion carried. So we have given approval 6, 7, 8, and 9 as requested. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Phillips, and thank you for the delicious barbecue.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.
All right, the last item I have is just the announcement of the employees' annual fair at Avon Park. It's coming Friday, June the 16th, from noon until. That's the UBT employees as well as the City of Tuskegee. I assume the council would be most welcome. They can come out from noon to noon until and have a party. You had some other announcements. You were gonna make.
Okay, I have one other announcement is that we have the fatherhood event this Friday evening at Benson Avenue Community Center. It's sponsored by the Tuskegee Housing Authority, along with the Tuskegee-Macon County Community Development Corporation. I think this is our 5th year for having a fatherhood event. All fathers particularly encouraged to come out with young men, and if you don't have children yourself there, just come out and be a father to those who come. We have a few guys who come who don't have fathers there, but they're very encouraged that we sit at the table and talk to them and talk about some concerns of where they are in their lives. So it's just a matter of being community fathers as much as we can and sharing with the fathers who are there. So it's Friday evening fatherhood event at the Benson Avenue Center, Tuskegee Housing Authority. That's all on your report, Mr. Manager.
I just have one other thing. I just passed out the schedule, the 2018 budget development schedule. This is how we're going to be developing our budget to bring to you for the upcoming year. We've already started. We've distributed updated numbers to each of the department heads. We've also given them a budget worksheet, and they're to complete the worksheet projecting out their year end for this fiscal year we're in, and also their first blush numbers for next year. Once we get those, and we'll have one-on-ones with them.
Go right here.
Okay. One-on-ones with them, and then we will bring the proposed budget to the city at August 8th meeting. That's our goal. After that, we'll set special presentations where you can go one-on-one with department heads, ask any questions you want. The whole idea here was to come back and to approve the budget for September 12th.
Okay, thank you.
All of that's in the write-up, so I didn't read it, so that.
Okay, thank you. Any other business before we go to, we've adopted the ordinance and resolution to the attorney's report before we go there. Council concerns?
Mayor.
Yes.
One more reminder, I'm sorry, in hearing you all speak, as it relates to the audit.
That's what I was raising my hand for, that had to be done.
Yes, we have to submit that to our funding sources before the end of this month.
Well, I was told today by Mr. White that the audit is going to be submitted before the end of work today. It was not, so I found out tomorrow when it's going to be, but he said he's wrapping up the last things that he has. We have a couple of sessions that we have to have with him. He has to come in to do a review, and then he will have to come in and do a review with council also.
Right.
So what's your deadline here?
June 30th.
We'll be plenty of time.
Thank you.
So that necessitates, that's why I was trying to get you. Necessitates, we'll have to have a call meeting anyway. Okay, at this point, you said there's some council concerns. I thought they came up much earlier. Okay, all right, we'll have council concerns at this time. That was used up the city managers. Okay. Councilman Lee?
Okay, just one concern, it was brought to my attention by Dr. Harrington, but it's also something that I've noticed in the community as well, and we fixed a couple of the other issues, but dealing with the street signs. A lot of the newer street signs that have gone up, they have a slight variation from the original name from the street. I know we had that issue with Greenwood, what was it, Greenwood Street, it should have been Greenwood Drive. The same issue is on Gunn Avenue, and Dr. Harrington is saying that it's causing some confusion with the deliveries sometimes.
What is it now?
It says Gunn.
It should be Gunn
It should be Gunn Avenue,
but
and it
it's
says
Gunn
Gunn
Street.
And I can't think of any. I've seen a couple more that I just know. You know, the street. I've always known it as Avenue and stuff like that. But that one in particular. And again, I didn't realize it was causing
any more. Let me know if you come across any more. Yeah, we got.
Okay.
Ms. Ladies, where are we on our new sign?
We have an order in. I don't know when it'll be ready. I'm waiting for
to hear back.
Hopefully, we won't have those kind of snafus on the news.
Oh, another, I just wanted to recognize, I guess, for a moment, one of our notable citizens, Mr. Frank Walker, held his camp today for young people on campus, and they had a great turnout. A lot of kids there, so I just wanted to recognize him. That's something that he does annually, and so we were out there today with the kids. It was a hot day, but it definitely was a success. So that was it.
Mayor Pro Tem Brown.
You talked about it now, no offense. You got a Dixie Youth Tournament starting Friday, next Friday, in Tuskegee. 4 out-of-town teams.
Dixie Youth Tournament starting in Tuskegee.
One starts the 16th and another one the 23rd.
16th and the 23rd, Dixie Youth Baseball Tournament. Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Brown, do you have?
No, I just wanted to commend the city manager and our city park director group for having the swimming pool open on Memorial Day. I don't know how much swimming took place because the weather was not as conducive for swimming, but thank you anyway.
You did indicate that they have 2 sessions now.
Oh, very good. And
Thank
you
you.
did tell me we have lifeguards. So that's
Thank you, Mr. Rhodes. That announcement, Councilwoman Whitehead.
Okay, I have a few items here. The superintendent of schools, Dr. Brooks, informed me that I could have the playground equipment from Washington Public School, and I told her I'd like to pick it up. Somebody get it for me to take it to Willie Louise Park. So that's some equipment we could put in Louise Park to start off trying to build that park up. She's going to give us all of the equipment from Washington Public School. I hope somebody can move that equipment for us. Whatever it is, we're going to take it. We're going to have it, we're going to take it. Okay, concerned about, citizens are concerned about 4th of July celebration. Are we going to have anything for the 4th of July? People in District 2 are concerned because that's done on the lake every year. So we're going to have anything?
Well, we're not going to have any fireworks. There is no activity planned. We bring out some extra porta-johns, have it around the lake. We don't have a, fireworks. It's just too costly. So as far as anything specifically planned, no, there's no specific plan. We don't have budget for it.
Okay, well, if we can get fireworks, since that's in my district, can I do something?
To get fireworks, you're going to have someone to operate the whole thing and do the fireworks. Especially, firemen can't do it anymore. They can't do it anymore. For insurance reasons, they can't do it anymore.
Can you explain what happened there? Because I was trying to understand it too.
We could buy fireworks and do it ourselves for $5,000. I think that was the deal. We had talked to UBT about it. Right. We had talked to Daryl. He agreed to do that. But then the safety officer determined, and rightfully so, that the firemen are not trained to do fireworks. They've done it in the past, but they're not trained to do it. And there is a liability with them doing fireworks. Went back to the vendor, the fireworks vendor. The cost that they come in and do it is like $15,000. And that's where it's only for like 30 minutes of fireworks.
I know we just got a flyer from Short. They're having fireworks, so we need to talk with them and see what they're doing, how they doing their fireworks. They have a flyer out, beautiful flyer.
Okay. Who was the safety officer that made it do that?
Mark Fuller.
With the
That's
fire
what he does.
department?
He's the safety officer for the city.
And he determined that we can't undertake doing that.
He did an evaluation himself, and I believe he checked with Amy. I think he did further than just his determination.
My only concern is why all of a sudden they've been doing all these years. He's been there all those years. It might be something we want to look into because if other cities are doing it, and it's within reason budget, why do we get a difference?
Okay.
I still have those challenges once we have interpretations sometimes. We see same entities over here like us doing similar things, and then internally we find out we can't do things. That just causes questioning. So if you don't mind, if we check that to see. That's
okay. Follow up on that.
Thank you.
I know previously, or I didn't want to cut in with you, but I know previously on the 4th of July, it was always, you know, I didn't know much about the money and how that was going on, but it was always said that it was being raised from vendors and things like that. For that particular.
Your former mayor
right.
had some vendor contacts that he went out and raised some funds that he used. He did it on his own.
Okay.
So not city funds that did that.
Okay. Right, so I guess that would be something that we'd have to do outside of.
That's why I said I'm in the, district.
Right.
And the fireworks done on the lake. If anything I can do to make it happen, I want to make it happen, because I like for the citizens to still have 4th of July celebrations. We don't have but a couple of things that we do. We have the fishing derby, and we have the fireworks for the 4th of July, and I'd like for us to continue to do that. Any way I can assist with that,
Well, our challenge is to find out about the safety issue. And let's find out what's going on in other communities, because that's a challenge to me to all of a sudden come up and this year they said we can't do it, and they've been doing it before.
okay.
I like to look into that. Councilwoman
At the last council meeting last month, I brought up citizens' concern from District 2 about Mayor Ford's picture being hung in City Hall, and I got one response from Mayor Haygood. He talked about the history, 32 years of service, and what he done in all those years. You said, of course, that should be there. Okay, I took it on myself to hang a picture up right over this plaque here. The next day it was taken down. I'm concerned about that. I want a picture of our mayor who served the city for 32 years, hung in City Hall. And I don't know who took it down.
I did.
Okay, you took it down, took it on yourself to take it down. Okay, we want to pick, my citizens in District 2 want his picture hung, and we picked a spot. So
You cannot
that's
do that. You cannot
okay,
do that.
okay,
Let me be very clear. You cannot do unauthorized things in this building. That was improper, it was disrespectful, and it was out of order.
Okay,
and I don't care who comes up here, who came with you. I mean, if you want to be very clear about who came with you and put it up there, she was totally out of order. And anyone who's not an official, the city manager, or Mr. Gerald Long, or myself, they're out of order. And that was out of order.
Okay, may I move that, may I make a motion, please, that the City of Tuskegee place a picture of Mayor Ford in City Hall, and we can, City Council, if we can pick a spot where we'd like to put the picture. Is that in order?
I think it's out of order.
Okay.
First
Can the
of
picture
all,
be placed there?
it's going to be placed there. It's not even a motion necessary. We had designated that that would be done. As a matter of fact, Mayor Ford came up here with me, and we met with another gentleman from Dayton, Ohio. We had a very good conversation. He asked me, and I told him, I said, yes, I talked to Councilman Whitehead, and we agreed to do that. To come up here and take that on was totally disrespectful. You wouldn't go to anybody else's place and do that. I wouldn't go to Ms. Robinson's theater and do that. That is totally out of order. That's disrespectful for the city manager, for Gerald Long, who manages this building, for myself as mayor. Mayor Ford didn't come up here and do it. So I don't think we should entertain it right now, because we have said we'll do that. And we were making a place up there where all the mayors will be put. We invite Mayor Dunn to bring her picture back, Mayor Ronald Williams. Mayor Neal is already up there. Mayor Ford took his picture, and Diana, whoever took it out of here in the first place. So I don't need to make an issue of this. See, this is narratives when we do this kind of thing. And I don't want to take this up in this meeting. And I want to be very clear about this. We're going to go ahead in the city. I respect Mayor Ford, and he respects me. We talked to Mayor, but to make this as a minimal, small thing like that, that's just disrespectful. Come on, Ms. Whitehead, we got to do better than that. You and I can work together better than that. And Ms. Diane Robinson, she's going to do it, she needs to do better than that. Now, we're about to go to her theater and put anything up, so we need to move on from that. I don't want to entertain that motion.
That being said, though, the motion was, we did agree, I guess, last time that we would do something, so I guess us, you know, we can do something officially. Because, you know, differences aside, you know, people should be recognized just for years and things like that. So I know it's not an issue, but I just wanted to, you know, I know Ms. Whitehead, I think, you know, I think she might have had good intentions with it, but we just need to go through the process and do it the correct way.
Good intentions would have been, when we left the meeting, we said we're gonna put it up. They came, Mayor Ford asked, and I reminded Mayor Ford, we would do this. I said, we have no problem with it. All they had to do was bring the picture to the proper people instead of coming and just sticking it on the wall without authority. You would go in the school building and do that. They put you out and try to get you for trespass. I don't care what position you hold. A teacher cannot go in the building to put up something because they're part of an entity. So I think we gotta respect each other here. I don't care who we represent. So to put me in that position, try to make it look like I'm against Mayor Ford, I don't have a problem with that. He and I work on things right now. So we can continue to do it. We're gonna put that picture up. But I don't think it's necessary for motion to do that. Now, if the council wants to do that, that's up to the council. But I'm totally against making a motion for something that's totally unnecessary. And I think it needs to be brought up in council time. We need to be going on the whole positive. Councilman Curry,
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
And Mr. City Manager, I'm just following up on a couple of things. No need for you to write down.
Gladys was kicking in anyway, so that's good.
Okay, I think you and I talked about the situation on Old Columbus Road. Look at today's date for one. You have two. I'm following, some things I'm following up back to.
72807 Old Columbus Road.
Yeah. We talked about this in your office.
Okay.
Item 1 and item 2.
Okay.
I'm just reminding you to follow up on those.
Right.
And those areas are in the city limits.
Okay.
They're in the city limits, okay? We can do that for you. Now, with Green Park, I have a number of things with the park. However, I think the number one pressing one is there's a drainage, I think it's a drainage, and there's a cover, and it's slightly uncovered. In my opinion, and someone else could look at it, it poses a safety hazard for children to run around in the park.
It's in the park itself.
It's in the park itself. We need to either find the proper cover for it or to build something around it so the kids will not go in that area. As you can note there, I have a number of other things. I won't go into those, but that is to bring your attention to them, and we're working on them. Okay? My last thing is, there's a pothole on Howard Road. However, that's nothing new, but we do need you to put, need something to put in it to sustain us for a while longer. Okay?
We'll look into these. Thank you for documenting it. Appreciate it.
Oh, yes, we always
document.
document.
Mr. Thomas.
Always document, yes.
Okay, thank you. Final thing I wanted to make mention of, we talked about briefly, but I wanted to make sure I actually give them total clarity in it. At Greenforth Park, as you mentioned, I asked Mr. Woods to check about trimming that tree up on the corner to keep housing stuff under. Because it's on the overhanging limbs. And another tree down next to the opening gate, this overhanging limbs fall up. And he said that they would do it if it's in compliance with you, Mr. Manager.
That's fine.
And put up a light there on the pole. And this would be right across the street where that blue light is, put it on the bright amber colored lights or whatever they call them.
So you covered in detail with them?
Yes, he just asked me to flag it because there are people parking there at night and I'm not sure the activity is so safe. So I had some problems down there before. Any other business that comes before us at this time? If not, we'll go to the attorney's report. Attorney Milton Davis.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and members of the council. I want to make a recommendation and follow up on a good deal of conversation and comments that have been made at this meeting and at other meetings. And that is that I think it's necessary for me to recommend to the council officially that it take action to minimize its liability, particularly in the streets. It is going to be necessary that you close several streets
to the public and make them only accessible by people who live there and have to have ingress and egress from their homes. But for the general public, that streets that are, by every estimation, not safe, not passable, not able to be addressed by the city because of lack of funds or what have you, that those be closed. And you're going to have to take the necessary precautions to purchase the necessary barriers and signage to put at the streets so that the general public, that it's not accessible for public use, but it is available for people to get to their homes and come from their homes to get to another place, and then put some type of signage to indicate what the detour is to get to, to another area that is better. Now that is just absolutely necessary because otherwise you have liability magnets. You cannot have citizens coming forward as they have done today and the comments that are coming from the leadership yourself, acknowledging all of this and then not taking action. You must take action. That is a necessity to have at least a task force of some type to come forward, and I would suggest by the next meeting, if not by a special meeting, and suggest what streets must have the top priority to be closed to the public. Now, this has been done on some other occasions by this council. It takes council action. You have to declare in terms of an emergency situation as it relates to these particular streets and to publicize that to the public. Because then at that point, if someone decides that they will go past the barrier and use it anyway, then there is some defense. Otherwise, if a person turns down a public street in the middle of the night or any other time, they have a certain expectation as to the usefulness of that street. And we are in a position now that we have to take action. You cannot just sit here and talk about it and not do something about it. So in terms of that being a public acknowledgement, as you know, my practice is hardly ever to give public advice. I give that in executive session, which I'm allowed to under the statute. But in this case, because this takes a public action by the council, I would urge you to be prepared by the next meeting, if not sooner, to have a list of streets and to declare an emergency and to purchase the necessary reflective barriers so that if somebody decides they want to turn at night, they can see it reflected like this. And the signage that says closed to the public, open only to residents. And to start putting that, because you have already indicated several areas, and I would urge every council person to find those streets in your district that really support to these kinds of criteria and to bring that forward. I mean, that would be my recommendation. From the legal side, obviously I can't implement anything, but I can just advise. And the same thing that needs to happen as it relates to sidewalks. We have some lawsuits now relating to sidewalks and sidewalks that have buckled and things of that nature, and because of tree roots and other kinds of reasons that the sidewalks have become uneven. Of course, you don't have the maintenance for that. That area of the sidewalk needs to be cordoned off with barriers so that people will not walk in those areas. Just cordon them off. So you're going to have to spend some money. If you don't have the money for the patching and the paving, you're going to have to find some money for the barriers and the signs. But I would urge you to act immediately on that. That ends my report. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Attorney Davis. Council, any questions, Attorney Davis? Any questions? If no other questions, then we'll have final citizens communication and no other business. Any other final citizens communications? 1 minute.
I just have
1 minute. We're going to recognize a special person, Dr. C.S. Attorney Sapp. We're going to come to you, Dr. Harrington. We don't get Attorney Sapp at all.
Good evening, all.
Good evening.
And congratulations to each and every one of you at the head table. I rise to say first congratulations to the city on their garbage pickup. They pick the garbage up on a regular basis, and citizens are very pleased with that. But I also rise to spank you on picking up the trash. And I speak especially about Bibb Street. It has been 3 or 4 months. I don't live on Bibb Street, but I live on a little side street, and I have to pass down Bibb Street 10 or 12 times a day in order to get to downtown. I know that's on your list. That has been, citizens have had complaints for years about the potholes in Bibb Street. But now I'm also saying it's just hard to keep your grass cut if all the trash that you cut is put out on the street to be picked up, and it's all turning brown now because it's been there for months. And I would not rise if it had not been there for 3 or 4 months. I called to the street department about it, and they say they don't have anybody to drive the truck. And their supervisors are driving garbage trucks, but they don't have anybody to drive to pick up the trash. You've got all kind of couches, mattresses, and all of that. And that's one of your old neighborhoods, and it's like we're under siege under there. We need police to patrol the areas. For example, Gwen Kenny died on May 18th. And on June the 2nd, somebody came and stole all the furniture off the front porch. And before that, the week before that, we had 2 other break-ins on Bibb Street. And we just need some presence of police to come down there. And I know you're doing all that you can, and I appreciate all that you do. But I just felt I must rise to mention these concerns. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Attorney Sapp. We'll get with the city manager on that, on the trash piles. As we said, we've had drivers out, so we're going to be addressing that. And we'll get with the chief of police in terms of regular police patrol in that area. Thank you. And thanks for the compliment on the garbage pickup. Dr. Harrington.
I just wanted to recommend to the council, going back to Joe Turnham's, what you can do. I think it's that we need some kind of organized movement to do the things he has recommended. I know we know we can call whomever, but somebody needs to be the umbrella organizer to get this community organized so that they hear our voices regarding T100. Like maybe the Chamber of Commerce, I don't know.
I think you're exactly right. I'll ask the city manager to follow up with us on that so the council gets with him. I've had several requests from alumni of the university.
Yes.
And alumni organizations, nurses, alumni organization, president I think lives in Birmingham.
Yes.
And I talked with her and I told her I'd be glad to come back up there because we couldn't make it during the time we were at the league meeting. So we want to get a letter together that people can use in general and just tweak it their way. So I'll give it to the city manager and then we can see if we want to do it through the chamber or through some other entity to assist that. But it does need to be an organized effort.
It needs to be organized.
So the group can reference how we respond.
Right. You just can't leave it to chance.
And all that. Okay.
Right.
And if you remind me,
I will.
City manager, we'll get together with council and see what we can do.
Thank you.
Thank you. There's no other business. Do we have any other business to come before the council this evening? Thank each of you for coming and your patience. If If now it's no other business, the chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So,
Everybody adjourn. Thank you.